Welcome to Ukraine Update on the Shills YouTube channel. I'm Slavi, and thanks so much for being here. This is where we discuss the news, insult the tyrants, and help Ukraine win its war and our fight for freedom, liberty, and democracy. Let's hope your week was better than Elon Musk's, who spent it crying on TV and blaming Ukraine for literally everything. At least Musk still has one friend, though, Donald Trump, who turned the White House into a used car dealership to help Musk sell his overstock of swastikas for just 3 easy payments of your dignity. You too can own a defective electric vehicle that bursts into flames, just like Musk, going on a ketamine binge and reposting fascist propaganda profusely. All right, let's say hello to the panel. Hi, Dick.
Oh, that was awesome. How's it going?
It's going well. What about you?
Oh, hanging in there, feeling good. Can't wait for today. We get to meet new friends. This is great.
Yes, and then we have Secular Sakai, the owl in the audience. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm good. Glad to be here.
Thanks for being here. And then our very special guest today is Mari from Ukraine, from Gostomel Animal Shelter. How are you doing, Mari?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you. Happy to be here today with you.
Glad you could join us. And we're fundraising today too, everybody. So the mods will be dropping the links. There's links in the description as well. And let's, raise some cash here and do some good, shall we? Absolutely. So Mari, tell us about the animal shelter, what's going on, what you do, and 7 questions in one. There you go.
Hello everyone. My name is Mary, and I'm owner of one of the biggest shelter in Kiev, named Gostomel Shelter. We have almost 700 dogs and cats. Yes, when I was 25, I bought this shelter and decided to make it the best in the world. But now it's very difficult to run the shelter because we have a very big problem with homeless dogs and cats. Because before the war it was a really big problem, and now it's like I don't know in English such a word that can describe the situation. So people evacuate, and they can't. People in Ukraine, they have very big heart and they really love animals, but when they have like 15 minutes to evacuate from the city that will be like bombed, they have like 15 minutes and they can't take all the cats and dogs they had because it's even impossible. So they have to leave them, and then evacuation team come to this region, take these dogs and cats as much as possible and bring it to the safe place as my shelter. From the beginning of the war, we already receive and take like 300 such dogs and cats, and it's if we compare with the amount of dogs and cats who's still there on the front line, it's like really like drop in the sea. I don't know how to say in English. So
that's good.
Yes, my shelter is private shelter in Ukraine. We almost don't have the government shelter, so our shelter support only people and some charity organizations. So government don't support animals now in Ukraine, and I understand because government support our army, so we can win, and maybe after the war they will support shelters too. So that's why now we try to be everywhere on the stream, on some events to fundraise some money, because the situation is that prices in Ukraine become higher and higher every day, and people in Ukraine have less and less money because they don't have the work, and they have to evacuate themselves, and they lose their homes, their work, their lives. So it's I can understand them. So they can't make donations for dogs and cats. But even it's in this such difficult situation, somebody must take care of these little lives, because if nobody will take care about those dogs and cats, who will? They're
Right.
also alive, they have feelings, they have lives. And my aim and the aim of my team to save as much as we can. And as I told, I have almost 700 dogs and cats, more than 600 dogs, and almost 100 cats. And every day, yes, we wake up at 7 o'clock and go and feed them, give them water, clean their kennels, cages. We have a vet, 2 vets. We treat them because a lot of animals come to the shelter ill and in very bad condition. So we have to support them and give them everything that we can. But the pity is that we don't have, some programs where we can, for example, go to the veterinary for free or receive food for free or something else. So each our step we need to pay. We have expenses, and for me as for director and for the owner of shelter, it's very difficult, because in one time I want to save dogs and cats, I want to find families, but on the another side I have to think about money, like all the time at the evening, when I sleep, when I wake up, when I eat. I have to think where to find, because as I usually say, before we take dogs and cats and put in the shelter, put them in the cage, they have the choice in the life. They can go somewhere, they can try to find food somewhere, but at that minute when we put these cats and dogs in the cage, it's my responsibility. I have to provide them food, provide them clean cages, and they don't care if I don't have money. I can't come to them tomorrow and say, sorry, you won't have a food today because people don't make donations, so I didn't buy food. So sorry, guys, close the shelter and go home. It's not situation, because they want to eat. I need to find families for them, make PR, and make some adoption festivals. So at the same time, this already ready dogs and cats, when they're look nice and they're without some illnesses, I try to find somehow families in Ukraine or abroad. We can make the documents and legally send dogs and cats to each country. But we have so many cats and so little amount of people who want them adopt. So it's yes,
must be so hard. It doesn't sound like you ever get to pull your mind out of the situation. It's 24/7 constant.
Yes, some people call me like a volunteer, and I say that sometimes that volunteer is the person who can be volunteer or not to be volunteer today. And I work here like 24/7. I think about the shelter. It's my life. It's my, let's see, no paid work, because our minimum that we need to cover food, some utilities, medicine, salaries. It's 700 hryvnias, and in dollars, I don't know. I think maybe 20,000 each month.
Wow.
And yeah, for us, it's a really big amount. And that's this amount is such huge because businesses they don't make for us discounts, or
Right.
if I pay electricity, I pay like I am commercial company. They count me like commercial
Yeah.
company.
Puppies always know when you're on a live stream, and they make sure to be on it too. It never fails.
They also make comments
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
to prove my words.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I think the first time I heard about the Gostomel Animal Shelter was I want to say 3 years ago on one of Rick the Ukrainian's live streams, and I know that's continued with him making sure people are aware of your group and the work that you do, and thank you for doing it, because a lot of people are suffering, a lot of stuff is happening in Ukraine. Animals also deserve to be looked after, so I'm glad that there's someone there who's doing the work that you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you. And also, like before, I'm in this sphere of animals, to save animals. I'm here maybe like 4 years, just 4 years. But when I came, I saw that people who take care of animals, it's like very old people and no young people, and I was surprised why. And now I try to invite children from the school, from the university, to show the animals and make my work popular, so people can see that it's easy to save dogs and cats. It's not easy, but you can feed them on the streets, you can help in the shelters, and I want to make this popular in Ukraine. And also other achievement that because of a lot of dogs and cats and little amount of donations, shelters, before I came, shelters like argue all times. They don't have a friendship or some associations, I don't know. And now I try to make like cooperation with other shelters and other volunteers, so we work together, we don't have a competition, and we do the same work all together. And now I have 70 different volunteers and shelters, and we work all together. And
Cool.
yes, and because before, like, I was so surprised because they all time argue, yelled, and I don't understand why.
That's not
And
helpful. Yeah, exactly.
yes, and I decided to change something to show that it's not competition, guys, and we need to cooperate. And when we cooperate, we can do much more, because so many, let's say, evil around us now, and we need to really cooperate and be together, and together we more strong. So
Well said. Well
yes.
said indeed.
Also, it's like sad part of our shelter, but in the beginning of the war in 2022, we were under occupation 1 month, our shelter because we in Gostomel, and Gostomel, Irpin, Bucha. It was the first cities that were occupied in
Right.
Ukraine, and our shelter was under occupation too. We lose the electricity on the second day, and no electricity means no water. And
Ooh.
yes, no, thanks to God, I always have some amount of food in shelters that we never touch, like for such a day when we don't have money to buy, or as I understood, for occupation. So this amount of food was enough for 1 month. Maybe if occupation was longer, it will be another problem. But uh, we have like dry food for dogs and no water, and we can't give dry food for dogs without water because they will be thirsty. Yes, and it will be very unhealthy for them. So also maybe thanks to God, it was the end of the winter, and there was snow and rain, so we collect the ice and water and snow, and we give this to dogs and cats. After occupation, we have a lot of damages in shelter, like no windows, no roof. A lot of kennels and cages was damaged.
Wow.
And when I count how much it will cost us to reconstruct everything, it was almost $100,000.
Wow.
And it's also need to be understand that government don't cover such like expenses. So we rebuilt shelter thanks to donations from abroad. We make new windows, new roof, new kennels, and we continue to work even when everything was damaged. Because a lot of shelters in Ukraine damaged, and some of them closed. And I said, no, we will continue work. I don't care how much it will cost for us. We need to continue because animals need to be safe. Because there must be in Ukraine, in this world, like the safe place for dogs and cats, and my shelter is like a such place, like Novkovchek, let's say.
It's you're a pretty inspirational person there, you know.
I have a question for Mari. What's the process like if people want to, from outside of Ukraine, want to adopt? What does that process look like?
It's pretty easy. We have online like meeting. I can ask the person everything I need to know about the future family. Then we prepare documents. To prepare documents, it takes like 1 week or 2 weeks. It depends from country. And then we need to find who will deliver. Of course, all the payments, like documents and delivery, must pay person, because I want someday we will be very rich shelter and I will pay all these expenses, but now I can't. So if people want to adopt, they cover. Like documents cost $300, and delivery, it depends what country. Like I know to go to to Germany, for example, to France, it's like 500 euros now. Maybe if it, and also we work with one American. It's not a company, a charity organization. No Dogs Left Behind.
Okay.
And yes, they know us, and they supported us 2 years ago. And I know that they know how to transfer from Ukraine to America, for example. So
So you have contacts who can help with the process.
of course, yes, we support with contacts what to do. So my aim, for me, my dogs and cats, they're like my children's, my kids, and I am responsible from them from the moment they leave the shelter, and even when they in other family. I always online, and new family can ask me everything, and I can help. If in Ukraine, I can help everything. If in other country, it will be a little bit difficult, but I also always in touch and continue support, because I'm responsible from them till the end of their lives.
Yeah. It's it's not an easy endeavor. Somebody might think, "Oh, you're taking care of dogs and cats. That's nice." But this isn't grandma just out feeding a few animals in the yard. Wow. Wow, indeed. There is a few shout outs I want to make here. We've had some great activities from the viewers in support here. So let's get a round of applause in for everybody, shall we? We got where do I start here? Tyler Dowdy with a $20 direct donation through Ko-fi. These are all through Ko-fi. Thanks for using that, everybody, because we can send the cash as soon as the show is done. We don't have to wait for YouTube payouts or anything. So big shout. Tyler Dowdy, thank you for all that you do. And that's to you there, Mary. We had one in for 5 for from Anonymous. So thank you. And that's for the shelter. We had our own Annette there in the chat from the Shills, $20 direct one. Thank you for all you do, Mary. The Shills family loves our furry babies. Yes, we do. There's a lot of animal lovers around here. My son might be the biggest one. And then we got White Fishy one in with a $20 direct Ko-fi donation. From my 11-year-old Brittany, Slava Ukraine. Oh, that's lovely, White Fishy. Love it. Get the kitties involved. I love it. Joe Medley in with a 35 direct Ko-fi donation. My heart hurts for you and the animals. So that's into the fund as well. And then David N came in with a $23 direct donation as well for the pets. So that puts us at $150 so far. Well done, everybody. Thank you. We got some super chat action and member stuff. Niles in the chat gifting out 10 Shills memberships. Woo! Thanks, Niles. Yvonne Way, queen of the super sticker around here, has got the lovely woman with the big pink hair doing her little dance. Paul Gilbert comes in with one. Please give generously. So many stray dogs and cats in Ukraine need our help. It's an ongoing problem so common in former Soviet countries. And yes, they definitely, let's chip in and help here. Our lovely animal friends deserve the help. Petra Olsen comes in with Swedish kroner, 129 of them, with love to Ukraine, and with love thou shall be sent. Thank you, Petra. And then Johnny Nedregard in the chat for 22 Norwegian kroners as well. Hello, Shills with big hearts, Slava Ukraine. Hero, Slava. Thank you, Johnny. And I think we're caught up. I am going to check the question room quick because I know we've got some stuff come in. So
in the meantime, I have a question for Mary. Is it still, because when I lived in Ukraine, a lot of the stray dogs were actually like really like good breeds. There weren't like mutts. Is it still the same kind of situation?
Now in Ukraine, in the Ukrainian cities, as I said, the amount of dogs like increase, and the breeds are very different from like no breed to very, very expensive. And especially we can find a lot of very popular breeds on the frontline zone, because people leave their dogs and also cats. So, and as bigger the dog is, it's like more chance that this dog will be lived on the frontline zone, and then maybe a shelter will take this dog. So and like problem of such amount of dogs and cats, it's also because they are not sterilized. In English, it's like noted or something like that. So when dogs and
Neutered.
yes, yes. In when, for example, on the frontline zone, when people leave their pets and their for me it's easier to say not sterilized. So they decided to make puppies and kittens, and in this case it's really increased the amount of homeless dogs and cats. So when the war will end, we will have a lot of work to catch all these dogs and cats and stop this like population, because I think dogs and cats, they feel that there is a war, and they try to save their breeds, because they feel that something killed a lot of cats. So cats decided to give a birth for 10, 12 kittens. It's something unreal, and a lot of vets tell that something is unreal now happens, because animals feel that something is wrong and they need to save their population. So they give birth to really an incredible amount of kids and kittens, and we volunteers and shelters, we have to save all of them.
That's really incredible. I had no idea, but it's very interesting. And I mean,
Yes.
Yeah, I never would have thought of that at all, but it makes total
Yeah.
sense when you think about it, right?
Yeah.
And it's proved. It's proved now, because even when we receive very pregnant, let's say, dogs and cats from the frontline zone, and they give a birth of kittens and puppies, it's incredible amount.
Very
And they, and especially if before the war they have very bad health, now these puppies and kittens become more stronger. So if like in life, not all, it's sad information, but not all puppies and kittens will grow up, because some of them will die because of the illnesses or some other things. But now almost 90% will be alive and grow up. So they feel something and they knew something.
That's very good to hear. I have a sorry, I have a little bit of a cough still. I have a question, Mari. As far as physical health, it sounds like being able to care for all the animals, that's the capacity to do so has improved a lot, which is very good. For especially for animals that have been near the front line and have gone through a lot, just like with people, there's also mental health. There's trauma responses. Do you have any kind of training, or any of your volunteers are familiar with working with cats and dogs, animals that have trauma from being near the horrible things happening at the front lines?
Of course. like all my animals now, they have some problems. Some of them after occupation in Gostomel, because 1 month they live under bombs, under fire, and now they're really afraid when it's very loud. And also I have some dogs, especially dogs from the Frontline zone, and they are very difficult for me. And before to find families for them, we need to work, and it takes even not 1 month, not 6 months. It can take like 1 year, because they're afraid, and some of them will never find homes, because I have a few dogs, for example, like 1 minute he loves you, other minute he want to kill you.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
yes, and even if this dog work with the specialists like acknowledgments, or we call it zoopsycholog,
Psychologist, yeah.
yes. It's very difficult, because it's something very, very inside, and our specialist is not ready to work with such. They were not prepared to work with such dogs and cats. They were prepared to teach dogs and cats to make toilet in the right place, to feed in the one place, to make some like sit down, lay down, come to me, like something like that. And but for example, we have a lot of stories when soldiers find a dog or cat, but at the moment the soldier can't take care of this dog and cat, so he call us and ask to take care about this pet until he will return, and he will take this cat or dog, because even if person before the war don't have dog cat, like maybe he don't love dogs and cats, but on the front line, when he find puppy or cat, he saves his life. So it's very important pet for this soldier. And we have a lot of stories when soldiers come back, and they come to shelter, and we give them their dogs or cats, it depends, and they're very happy. In this case, dogs and cats help people, and people help dogs and cats, especially soldiers, because our men and women who return after the war, after the front line, for them it's very difficult to start live the normal life, because they very quickly change their mind, their let's say lifestyle, because they have to survive every day, to kill, to protect our country. And if they have some problems with the health, they can return home, and for them it's very difficult to start again live their normal life. And my family also have friends, and for them it's really difficult. For them it's easier to be there, even not to be here. So in this case, when they come to shelter, even a lot of doctors tell to the soldiers, go to shelters and work with dogs and cats, because it's like very good treatment. And after some work, some time with dog and cats, people become more calm, more happy, more relaxed. And I'm happy to see that dogs and cats can be very useful in this situation and help also.
I'm
Yes.
just curious, is there like a service animal? Because here in the West, there's service animals. So animals help with anxiety, PTSD, whatever mental health, and people get these animals. They're already trained to help them with the mental health problems. Is there such thing in Ukraine right now?
It's become more popular now, and we have some even centers. Um, you said very well that these animals must be trained, and these pets don't have problems. So, and now we have a lot of animals from Frontline zone, and they also have also need
They also
help.
have mental health problems. Yeah.
Yes, and they also need other maybe trained dogs and cats to become normal again. But yes, for kids, for soldiers, now it become more popular. But for such centers, we don't take um, dogs and cats from shelters because they have a lot of problems, own problems. So we can take some dogs and cats like from families, from they have a breed, let's say. It's not the homeless from the street. But yes, it's become more popular now.
They need to be like bred that way and not kind of off the street, right? That makes absolute sense.
Yeah.
I know Dick has been traveling. We have so many questions for Murray. So
Yeah. I am disheveled in the background here. I had a couple of apps freeze, and I'm restarting them as we speak. So Discord will be up and running in a minute, and I'll actually know some viewer questions because that's where we sort it all out. Our team is awesome in the background. Mari, I gotta say, she was a little concerned about English and making sure she had her. I mean, are you kidding me? You're
amazing.
I
Yeah.
know.
One thing I find on average with a lot of countries, I'll talk with people who can communicate very well in English, even if their English isn't perfect. And people will say, "Oh, my English isn't very good. I'm not very good." You try to talk to an American who should know Spanish, for example, living next to Mexico their entire life.
They don't even know English.
Exactly. So I find that the measurement of level of language proficiency is different from America compared to other countries. You speak very well.
Look at Trump. He sits in a Tesla. It's computer. That's just come on, doofus.
Trump has about like his speaking English levels of about like a 9-year-old.
At best.
At best, yeah, maybe 6-year-old. His vocabulary is very limited, I would say.
Well, he needs a dictionary because he doesn't understand the word tariff. I'll tell you that much.
Sure, we'll get into that one later on.
Yeah. Here, let's have a palate cleanser. It's not the right one. Hold on a second here. There we go. Let me dive into one of these rooms here. I think things are actually working for me right now. Yeah, we have one from Annette here. Have you asked any dog food manufacturers, Murray, to donate food? Some in the U.S. get their supplies that way.
If it was a question, do you hear me first? Because I put my okay, you hear me.
Yeah, everything's good.
So if it was a question, can you please repeat? Because
sure. Have you spoken?
No sound.
Right. Okay. Have you spoken with any pet food manufacturers about any direct donation supply or discounts or anything?
If we talk about Ukraine, we have, let's say, I have the contacts of a few charity organization and a few companies who produce the food. but they can't provide me the amount of food I need each month. So I can receive some amount, like a few times during the year, and I'm really thankful for this help. Usually I need let's say 4,000 kilos uh, of food. Yes. And they can't provide me such amount.
Right.
Uh,
Holy.
but yes, but for example, previous year, like 2024 and 2023, from one organization, we received dry food for 3 months, and I have a food like all summer, like two in 2023 and 2024. Like
Wow.
the summer was with enough of food, and it was really cool because I work in shelter like it's like a company, non-profit company.
Yeah.
If I have some money, I can plan what expenses I will cover. If I have some extra money, I rebuild something in shelter, or because my shelter is old, the building is old, the kennels is old, and when you work with dogs and cats, you need to make reconstructions every year.
I bet.
Because they eat walls. I don't know why they destroyed the floor, because they need some fun. So they decided to destroy the walls. Yes, and they don't care if I don't have money.
Yeah.
And people then come to and tricky thing is that when people come to shelter, they want to see a very nice picture, like new, fresh colored walls, new, I don't know, some decorations, new cages. They want to see very nice picture to make a photo and post it. And yes, and when they come to the shelter where is everything old, destroyed, and they don't hear me that like previous year I painted all the walls. They see the picture now, and they will make a lot of bad comments in the internet. So also I need to take care about fresh view of my shelter each year, because in Ukraine, usually people come and want to see the shelter like in American film.
Right.
Very nice, very clean. And if we compare our shelters, they are really definitely different.
Yes.
I wouldn't say they're that nice here either. Some are pretty scary here.
I also see shelter. I also only in the films, so the shelters. So
Yeah.
They don't look like that. If anything, Ukraine is much more. There's more cleanliness in Ukraine than there is in the United States. It literally looks like a war zone as well in the United States. I'm not gonna lie. So
It's the same in Canada. You've got to go into the smaller towns before you find good animal shelters. In the cities, it's like jail.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, and oh, sorry, go ahead.
I just want to say that you know this because you live there and you saw it.
Yeah.
But almost all people in Ukraine, they saw the shelters from the film or internet, where is very nice pictures, and they
Yeah.
want to see like my shelter. The same must be.
Yes. I can only imagine. Just more pressure on your shoulders, like you don't have enough already. Wow. Another one here. This is from Kristen McCall in the chat there. Do you have a lot of animals traumatized from air raids and attacks and et cetera? And how is there any process to try to bring them around and get the anxiety down?
You mean, do I have dogs and cats who have troubles after like bombs and okay?
Yes. Yeah.
Of course, almost all my animals have troubles because one part of animals was under occupation 1 month, so they live in war directly in war during the war, and other part of dogs and animals, they are from frontline zone, so they all of them almost come to shelter with a lot of health problem and mental problem. So we need a lot of acknowledgments, some professional people who take care of their health, mental health. So because but another, as I said, tricky thing that not our specialist in Ukraine was prepared for such animals. As I said, they usually trained dogs and dogs, for example, they train dogs to sit down, to lay down, to run, to bring something, I don't know, to bark, do not bark. And now it's another problem. Another for me, as for the owner, problem is the specialist, all these people, they want money, very big money for their job. And I understand they need something to eat after the evening and they have the families, I understand. But if we will count the amount of dogs that need help in my shelter, I don't know, I need like another $10,000 only to train them. So
it must
we
be
do
you
what
you
we
must wake up so overwhelmed at times when these massive numbers are always staring you in the face.
Yes, and you know, we have how in English? От ці повітряні тривоги, air.
Air raid alerts.
Okay, air raid. We have it every night, and it's very loud every night. Even during the day, it's not so loud because our associate neighbor, yes,
Neighbor, yeah.
neighbor. So our not very good neighbor decided to bomb Ukraine in the evening, at night, and early morning. It's like the best time. So when we sleep. And in the morning, when we come to the shelter, sometimes we find some dogs dead because of the heart attack.
Oh, that's sad.
It's very sad because our shelter is near Kiev, and Kiev, let's say now it's like safe place. It's not a front line, yes, and even here very loud at night and early morning because there's air and it's very pity because we want to save these dogs from Frontline. We bring it here, and here they also hear bombs and loud sounds, and it's very pity that their heart not so strong.
That sucks.
I gotta hop off now, but Mari, you said that you work with a couple, or you've spoken with a few other shelters and groups in the states, United States. So I know a few nonprofits. I know some in Texas that specifically, rather than military support, they focus on support to people and to animals. You know, humanitarian support. And so I'd like to possibly get in touch later. Maybe see if there'd be a way to work with one of those groups I know in Texas. Is there a good way to get in contact with you later?
Yes, of course. I just wanted to say something and forgot.
Yeah, Sakai, I can hook you up with her, no problem.
Perfect. All right, I gotta go. Thank you for being here and doing all that you do. And Slava Ukraine.
Heroam Slava.
Slava.
All right.
Good
Bye,
show,
everybody.
buddy. Later, man.
See ya.
All right. So let's do a couple extra shout outs before we get to the point where I don't remember where I left off, because I'm not following our team's rules properly today and I could screw it up. So I do believe this is a repeat of the last one, but why not? David N with a $23 direct Ko-fi donation there for the pets. We got Karen Hensman in with a $5 direct donation in for the shelter for all the work that you do. We got Paul Gilbert in with a $20 direct donation for the Gostomel Shelter. Thank you so much. Piggy comes in with a $100 direct donation for all the fuzzies and their hero Mary, Slava Ukraine, and Slava Murray. Oh, I love it. Thank you so much, Piggy. Wow, that's a big shout. Mexi Girl, one of our own mods, comes in with $10 direct one for the fur babies. Love it, love it. And Carl Jacobson comes in with a $20 direct Ko-fi donation for the brave and supportive Ukrainian kitties. I love it. I love it. That throws our total over $300 for sure in direct donations alone. And I know some of the viewers have donated direct to the shelter as well. So thank you, everybody. This is working out really well. We only just hitting an hour so far. Not bad at all. Thank you. Thank you. Couple of super chat shout outs here as well. Our own super chat, Matt. It's the crazy long username. It's March in the chat there. And he says, "What's up? Slava Ukraine. Hero Slava." Thanks, buddy. Niles G comes in with what's the D again? Is that Danish? Yeah, Danish krone. 500 of them. Hit the siren, fellow babies. Oh, yeah. And he's got the little pear guy coming in on a rocket. And then it looks like he's smashing into a balloon-shaped planet. So I can only assume that's Elon Musk and Starship has failed yet again. Thank you, Niles. That's awesome. I think Niles' last name would be pronounced Knudsen. I'm not sure what to do with the K, but I think it's Knudsen. And Johnny Nedregard in the chat there for Norwegian Kroners as well. Man, or Mari, it says, Mari, do you have a Discord server? Are you guys on Discord?
I need help.
I can.
Are you on this? It's a chat, kind of.
Chat.
It's
Yeah,
a chat. It's like a messaging platform. Just called Discord.
No, we don't.
It's a good thing because you create your own server. So unlike Twitter or something where it's just a crazy feed of stuff, the server is yours to control. You can have your own rooms for things and stuff, and it can be a positive experience when using social media as a crowdsourcing tool.
Okay, you can share with me later.
Yeah. We'll do a little live screen share thing and I can help you with it. We're pretty familiar with it around here. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's kind of like a WhatsApp Signal, but better because it's on your own server. So
yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, you can exercise a lot of control. You can control the message and it's pretty good. I'm not very good with social media, so I'm not even in ours that much, but I try to be better, everybody. I am trying. A couple of more questions here. Let me just get to the right room because I seem to always get things wrong today. Sally Lulls in the chat. I would like to hear how the animals at the shelter survived while the Russians had you under occupation.
Okay.
great question.
So yes, Not like all animals were survived. We have some dogs. They dead because of heart attack. If we talk about very old dogs, and we have some kennels, cages for dog kennels, and they were destroyed. During occupation, and the dogs inside too. We have photos of these dogs, and it was hard to see. But if we compare how many dogs and cats survived, it's incredible because it's like 95%. As I told, I have a rule even today. We always have some amount of food we don't touch.
Right.
Because we don't know. Like before the war, I don't think like that this food we will use during occupation. We keep this food because the financial situation is not very good. So if we won't have money, for example, to buy food next month, we have some amount always, and I will use this amount while I'm looking for extra money. But during occupation, we had such a room, and dogs and cats, they have a food every day. My team, everybody stay and nobody run away and continue to take care of dogs and cats even during occupation, and it's really heroes for me. And I always say that I can be very nice director and very nice owner, and I can have nice management of shelter, but without team, my work will stop. And thanks to this team, shelter survived because they take this food, they go to the kennels, they give it to dogs and cats. And also, it's very important to understand that we had a food like for 1 month, and if occupation were longer, I don't know what they like could eating. And as I said, there were no water because there were no electricity during all these months. And after occupation, we don't have electricity maybe next 2 months because everything was destroyed in our city. And we lived with power generator. So during occupation, to give some water to dogs, it was the end of winter, and there was snow and some rain, and we collect.
That's a lot of hard work
ice.
doing it all by hand, isn't it?
Yes, collect snow, rain, or ice and melt it and give to dogs. It's like little cup of water, but they receive this cup every day. And yes, if you will see my dogs and cats now, they are very nice, fat. You will never say that they are from shelter. Because they look like they have very nice home life.
Awesome.
But after occupation, but after occupation, they were alive but very thin because they receive not enough food, like little amount just to survive, but
Right.
not to eat
Properly.
as much as they want. So
Let me jump in quick here because Rudy finally got over and joined us.
I'm sorry I'm late, guys.
No
How's everybody
worries.
doing?
Good. This is Murray. This is Rudy Murray. She runs the Gostomel Animal Shelter, and Rudy's a new
wow.
Ukraine support YouTuber that we met and joins us on the show now.
Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you.
Awesome. We've got a couple more questions in pocket, so let me just scroll my little wheel and find the next one. Johnny Negregard in the chat was saying, is Rick still sending monthly supports over? And I do believe that's true, right, Mary?
Yes, of course.
We are going to do the same thing around here going forward, everybody. So listen to this. We've got our hashtag Boom Boom Fund, which is in support of whatever guest or fund we're going for that day or week or whatever. But we're going forward, we're also going to have hashtag furry pets. And furry pets, when you put furry pets on your hashtag with your donation, it goes to Murray's shelter going forward. That's what we'll be doing as well.
Nice.
Yes. We have to help the pets. I mean,
Yeah.
my son is the biggest animal lover the world's ever seen. And if he found out that I didn't help, I'd be in some serious doo-doo.
I love animals too. Here's my newest little pug right here. So she's over here bugging me. She's always right here at my feet when I'm doing these. So I'm a lover of animals and dogs specifically. So that is
awesome. Let me jump in again. There was a question here from Fragden Shizo, I do believe I say. And it's Slavi, for yourself. Do you have a little furry baby at home?
I do, except not little, quite big. His name is Brunovich. It's a dog. And he's a mix between a field spaniel and something very large because he's very tall field spaniel. And he's currently sleeping right now, which he does during the live stream when he can't get my attention. And he's quite the attention whore. I have no idea where he gets it from, but
Very cool. There was another in here if I scroll. This is from Shirley in the chat. Would it help maybe sending email to British animal food suppliers to see if they could send over some extra supply or anything like that, Mary?
If somebody have ideas, because I'm always open. As I said, I can't know all the ways, especially abroad. And if people know, they can just maybe share the contacts or the website or the name of organization, and I will sit down and write the emails and letters, because I'm very proud that my organization is official organization. We are non-profit. We have all documents, so we can work with any organizations and make reports, because not all organizations in Ukraine who work with animals work officially, and for us it's much more easier, because I opened an organization, I received all necessary documents, and that's why I can write any letters. And if people know where I can write, please share. You can write to me directly or to our email. So
the email is gostomalshelter@gmail.com, correct?
It is.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get that in the live chat as well, because if anybody can help with a little legwork and, helping get some doors open, that would be very much appreciated.
And also, I always say that, for example, if you don't have money to make donation, it's okay. You can, make some stories or posts of our shelter to share with your colleagues, friends, families, information about us, our links, our website, our Instagram, and you don't know, maybe some millionaire will see this and help. So it doesn't matter if you it's okay if you can't make donation. Sometimes it's more important to know to share that we exist and we need help. So if you can, please share about our shelter. We are open to cooperation.
Yes, very much. All help is good help. It very much is.
It is.
You know,
I'll get the information from you later, Dick, and then I'll talk about it on my channel as well. So
for sure. Awesome. Yeah. We'll hashtag furry pets will be our little thing to help them within our little community here, for sure. I like that idea very much. And I know my son will be quite happy when he hears that we're not just sending, not just helping with military direct things, but we're helping animals. He'll be very happy about that, right?
Yeah.
Let's see here. I've got Carl Jacobson came in as a new member on the channel. Huge thanks there, Carl. It's a re-up of a thing because this next message says member for 8 months. So well done, YouTube. Glad you work so hard to give me the tools I really need in the situation, dipshits. Carl says, great to be a part of this before Orange outlaws us. I did want to touch on that. There's a thing called PeerTube. And it's just like YouTube, except you can host it directly off your own servers and whatnot. And there's also a community of them that are linked together. And if there's ever an issue with Ukraine support content and American social media companies or whatever, my ass is Canadian and we ain't fucking stopping. So it's not going to be a problem. Right?
Well, yeah.
No way. Yeah, no way. Right? And but great shout, Carl. And then we had Elizabeth in the chat as well, coming in with a super chat. From Doobie to Ukraine's pets. I love it very much. Into the pot it goes. Thank you so much. And if I look over here, I think I'm caught up. Basically, having those glasses for a bit, but then having to send them back to get them remade so they're better. I'm just like, what the hell's going on? I can barely read, Yeah, I'll be back to normal soon, but it'll be a little bit of a transition as I wait. And then there was a comment here as well from Sarah earlier, and I did send her the information, but if you're somebody who's very concerned with doing a business with American companies right now, and as such, you would rather not use PayPal, you can go directly to the shelter's website. The mods will drop the link right now as I speak, and there is Monobank and other options for direct funding as well. So you can avoid what you need to avoid to make sure that you feel good in all areas of your donation. It's important stuff, right?
Definitely.
I never actually gave PayPal a thought in all this until that was brought up. And I was like, wait a minute now. That sucks. Yeah, I didn't think of that either. Yeah. So let's see here. And then Petra Olsen comes in with another 129 Swedish kroners with the super chat. From my dogs, Baffy and Electra to yours. Oh, isn't that lovely? We have puppies supporting puppies now. Oh, that's great. I like that. Good shout, Petra. Very cool. I am wrapped on viewer questions right now, so please feel free to send any to the Shills account or any of our moderators you see with the blue wrenches in the live chat, and they'll make sure we get them. I'm not even sure where we should go now because we could turn it into some ugly discussion about some of the current events and whatnot. But this has been such a positive, uplifting conversation that I don't think I want to talk about the orange painted shit gibbon and his little fucking bootlick minions. Right. So Why don't we just say, fuck you, Trump. You're not invading this stream, you shit little I just grabbed you by the and just you know, we're not gonna do it. Yeah. Oh, you know, why do you think we're not gonna talk about you, Trump?
Because I have common sense.
Yeah. So we're not gonna do it. Yeah, not gonna do it. Oh, now I'm doing Bush, right? Not gonna do it. But news-wise, there's nothing. Well, is there anything, Slavi, that we could go to that isn't just like horrifically awful?
I mean, it's war, so it's all horrifically awful. Just kind of where everything is at. These are for the past week. So Ukraine and United States successfully brokered a 30-day interim ceasefire between Ukraine and Russia, and so this ceasefire, was to facilitate humanitarian initiatives, including prisoner exchange and the return of forcibly transferred Ukrainian children, which we'll come back to later because has been doing too much evil. So yeah, and then Putin came back with an answer to the ceasefire, making demands. Of course, we knew that, making demands that include stopping Western military aid to Ukraine and assurances that Ukraine will never join NATO, and addressing that Moscow calls the root cause of the conflict.
I know the root cause is your punk ass, you stupid swastika wearing bitch.
Yeah, it's
that ceasefire already. Everybody had already predicted it was not going to go through, but the fact that Zelensky was so willing to do it, was a huge sign to Trump that it's not him that's a problem. It's obviously that piece of dirt, Putin.
Yeah, Zelensky was like, okay, you think this is going to be approved by the Russians? I'll play your peace game all day long because I know there's no way in hell that stupid son of a bitch is going to go for the. Butler has said repeatedly he won't accept foreign boots on the ground, even though he's got Norks on the ground. Like it's just. It's not a peace plan. It's make them surrender until we're ready to do this some more. We just need a little break. Yeah. Right? That's what it is.
Yeah.
It pisses me off. But
you and a lot of people.
Yeah, but I love how Zelensky caught onto that real quick, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you want to play this? Then I'll show you." Right?
Zelensky's a smart ass president.
I like him very much.
If we had a president that was seriously 2% of what Zelensky is, our country would probably be doing a hell of a lot better than it is now.
Yeah. Oh man. Right. Here we've let's see here. Oh god, my version's getting blurry on the smaller screen here. Sarah donated on the shelter's website. Several have as well, including Annette and Liam Wakefield, our moderators here. So we've got to do, like, again, a big shout out here, because a lot of people that aren't going to get shout outs because you didn't donate through our system, you guys have donated directly to the Gostomel Shelter as well. So we want to give you a huge shout out. And what we'll do is, if Mari can ever find time, we'll see if we can't get a list of those who donated during the show today from her in the near future, and we'll put out a community post and a thanks and everything. But I mean, you can, if you've been paying attention, she's pretty busy. So maybe just a big thank you is what we'll do, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Also, that I once said we can talk about, but yeah, Elon Musk also, he cut funding that was getting funded to find Ukrainian children in Russia that Russia stole, and yeah, Elon Musk cut funding to that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What was it for?
So Russia stole Ukrainian children, and at Yale they were finding the children. They found about 1,500 children that this um, organization have done, and brought the children back from Russia to Ukraine.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and Elon Musk got funding to that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm familiar with that, but I didn't know about the funding for that organization that helps get them back. But what a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
This guy just keeps showing the world how truly awful he is every time he opens his flippin' mouth now.
Yeah.
It's out of hand. How does somebody's ego run amok so badly in such a terrible way?
Ketamine.
right?
It fried his brain. Yeah, I was actually researching what like excessive amount of ketamine does, and that's he hits all the boxes.
Yeah,
All of
eh?
it. Yep.
Wow.
Erratic behavior and completely like fries your brain.
So in other words, and it shuts down.
Yeah. You could tell, when he has interviews or whatever, he spaces out a lot of times, really.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was something along those lines. Doing
Yeah,
that
I
to
think-
Also, one of the things is like having this like godlike complex, and I'm like, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I have such a hard time even considering that man in anything. It's unbelievable. A couple of questions here again. So Mari, we're coming back to you here with a question. Sean Watson in the chat. How is supporting dogs and cats contributing to the war effort? Dogs and cats have supported the defenders on the front lines, not only emotional support, but the perimeter as well. Do you agree with that? Like the dogs play more of a role than just being good friends, but dogs are an early warning system. They very much know when foreign people are around and stuff. Is there some of that?
You mean that dogs help our soldiers not only as friends but something
Yeah.
more? Yes.
Yeah. They're actually a
of
member of
course.
the unit in ways, right?
Yes, it's true. And I know that soldiers will give their food for dogs and cats, even if they don't have enough for them, because our soldiers, they have very big hearts and they save not only people but every alive creatures, and it's amazing. And sometimes these dogs and cats, it's I think they remind our soldiers to stay alive, to continue to fight, because I even can't imagine how they go through all these cold days or very hot days, how they sleep on the land without electricity, water. So the pets, they really help them, I think, to go through all this very difficult time. But also soldiers very often ask us, shelters, to take these cats and dogs to the safe place, and they say that they will come back and take back their dogs and cats after the war. So they think first of all of these pets and after about themselves.
That's been proven right here on this channel, because remember in the earlier days of the war, Operator Starsky rescued the kitten, right? The holy terror kitten that used to just climb them and flip out and go crazy. But he found it a good home. He got it in a nice adoptive family, Yeah, he was good. Yeah, that was a good one. I remember that well.
Yeah. Animals are amazing companions, you know.
Yeah, gotta have them, man. Gotta have them.
Yeah.
A couple of shout outs here. Niles G. Knudsen in the chat there, gifting out 10 Shills memberships. Whoa, buddy. Thank you very much. Few Mario bounces for you on that one. Absolutely. And then Kamo came in with a $50 direct Ko-fi donation for all your hard work you're doing in the Gostomel Shelter. All right. I think let me just refresh my screen here. Survey says, yeah, we are $5 from $400 in direct donations in for you today so far. So good job, everybody. Well done. Hearts for everybody.
Awesome.
All right.
Yes.
Our time is going to slowly run short. I've got about 12 to 15 minutes, and then I have this stupid appointment I have to do on a child-free day when I should be free to stream as long as I want, but I won't overly rant, you know. What are you going to do, right? So let me just look in the room here. Sarah in the chat was asking, how's Commander McMillan? Because he's going in for surgery again. Yeah, Commander's getting the second half of his bionics implanted. So when Commander McMillan is back, he's going to be able to run really fast because he's been rebuilt, you know? I think he's the $600,000 man, though, judging by American medical prices at this point, right? Oh, yeah. But yeah, he's doing good, and he'll be back with us as soon as possible. I doubt next week. It depends on how well he's feeling, but 2 weeks for sure. Right, 2 weeks for sure. And then Michelle Ferguson was in the chat asking, has anybody here been paying attention with the Serbian protests? In Times Discord has got coverage of it. Our friend Nick Suter there and the gang. There's a lot going down over there. Absolutely. It's worth looking into if you're not paying attention to the news. Very much so. So let's turn to Mari here. What would you like to leave our viewers with before the show is done? Of course, you want to make sure that they're all donating and helping, right, everybody? But, what's on your mind? What do you think?
First of all, I want to thank you, everyone, because today you find out about my shelter and you make donations for my shelter, and maybe you will share information about us, and we will be, I don't know, someday the richest shelter with all fresh walls. But as I always say, that you can take care about pets wherever you are, in Ukraine, in America, in other countries, because they really need our help. And it's easy to give food or water and give them chance to live one more day. So I want that everyone have a place in their heart for all dogs, cats, and other animals, and remember that there are not only people on this planet. There are a lot of other animals, and we are neighbors, so we should take care of each other. It doesn't matter, cats, dogs, or snakes. If you someday will come to Ukraine or celebrate our win, or just to come to support us, I hope you will come to my shelter and we will meet, because I'm always there and you will find me there, and you will see how much we do, and you will enjoy our shelter. So just have a place in your heart for all creatures on our planet and live in peace and love. And I hope that the war will end soon and we will all live in a better world.
Well said. Well said. You got a real inspiring thing going on.
Definitely.
Very, very focused, motivated, and you got a lot of years left to really be seriously successful in your endeavors. Oh yeah. So yeah. Huge thanks for joining us. We're gonna have you on it again and again. I think we've made an excellent new friend, haven't we, Slavi? Very much. Rudy, what do you think, buddy?
Well, one, I'm sorry I was late. But anyways, yeah, I think that's so awesome. That what she's doing with the shelter over there. The animals are very, very important. They're, I love animals, so it's such a great thing of what she's doing. And I will definitely get the information for your, your animal shelter that you have going on, and I will definitely talk about it on my channel as well. So, yeah, and I stay safe and keep doing what you're doing. That's awesome.
Well said, buddy. What do you think, Slavi?
Yeah, I just want to say what your work, Mari, is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for doing it. I think we all love furry pets here, and they're very, very important to save and to care for. So you're doing tremendous work, and I will also try to, from my channel, to do my best to get word out about what you do. For the audience, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, keep sharing the news, keep fighting the disinformation online. I mean, now it's just crazy now that Trump is helping Russia spread that disinformation. So we need to fight that much stronger now. Thank you for supporting Ukraine. Let's just do our best at this point. I hope everybody gets, better mental health, because it's been absolutely dumpster fire news. And as we know it, the world is that we knew is done, and now we are in a new age, and we need to fight for our liberties here in the United States as well. And that's the first way to do it is to help Ukraine win. So thanks so much, guys. Slava Ukraine.
Heroam Slava.
Heroam Slava.
Good words. So a huge shout to everybody for big support for Murray and the shelter. Thank you, everybody. This is going to be an ongoing thing around here. You're going to hear about it lots. She's going to be back to join us. And what more can we say? Thanks to our team. We've got the team in our show around here. We've got Annette running the Shills account today. We got Shayna Caldwell in, PJ CNET, Chris Lundy, Mexi Girl, Carpazian, the AI Alchemist, Liam Wakefield, Janine Terblanche, and Super Chat Matt. And without them, everything would fail. So give a big shout out to the moderator team in our live chat there, everybody. And we will bid you adieu with two things. Number one, thank you for your support for the shelter and your continued support, because we will be continuing it. And Slava Ukraine.
Heroam Slava.
Heroam Slava.
Perfect answer.
It's over. Go home. Go.